Hey everybody, my name is Bill, this is Yo-Yo Tech, and today I have one of the coolest things to show you that I've seen in a long time. If you guys watch any of my videos, you know I like building dashboards, custom dashboards that I can display on tablets and touchscreens and TVs and things like that around the house. Now don't get me wrong, Home Assistant's dashboards, they're awesome. They're really good on my phone when I actually want to just be able to control things within my house. But if I want to be able to do anything more of that, if I want to have a visually appealing dashboard, if I want to customize my dashboard, if I want to do things that are a little bit above just having a button that turns things on and off, it's difficult to do. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know I've gone to painstakingly long videos even just to show you how to build one custom widget. Well, this tool that I'm using now, it's called Dashable, allows you to build completely awesome looking customizable widgets. You can overlay them on top of each other. You can add and take away information. If you want to do something simple like take a temperature that's in Celsius and change it to Fahrenheit, you just click a button and it does it for you. If you want to make things all uppercase or lowercase or replace text or change text or make it disappear, you can do that. Maybe you want to have a widget that changes size. So you've got a security camera that's nice and small. It's just a little tiny thumbnail like one of these ones. But you know what? When someone sets off your motion detector, you want it to go big. Well, you can do that. There are multiple dashboards. There are so many options packed in here. I just can't wait to show it to you. So if you're interested in this, you want to see this fantastic new tool, well, then subscribe, thumbs up, and stick around because it's coming up next. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to head over to Dashable.app. Yes, that's .app. You're going to hit sign up. Now, this is an invite-only system right now. They're trying to make sure everything is nice and smooth. So you can check the description below and see if the invite code down there still works. Or go ahead, put your email address in and join up on the waiting list. And codes get sent out pretty quickly. When you finally get that email that says you have a code, you're just going to head right back over there. You're going to enter your code. You're going to put in your name, your email, pick yourself a password. That's really all there is to it. You're going to go ahead, click Create Account. Now that's going to drop you right into your main dashboard. This is where we're going to be able to see all of our own devices, tablets, TVs, whatever you have running in the future are going to show up there at the top. You're going to be able to remote control them, change dashboards, edit them, do everything right from this dashboard. The second half of that, your dashboards, is where, well, all your dashboards are going to show up. This is where you can go in and build out different dashboards for different size devices. And I'm going to show you some of the really cool features there. But for now, what we want to do is head right up to the top there where that little avatar is. And we're going to head on into settings to get ourselves set up and connected to Home Assistant. Okay, so once we're in settings, you're going to see a bunch of options, including OBS, which is online broadcast software, I believe. If you use that, you can also connect to that. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to add a Home Assistant server. Now, you need to have an HTTPS connection. So you can use your Nubicasa account if you want, and that is secure and goes through the cloud and everything's great. Otherwise, you need to set up a secure certificate. Super easy to use with DuckDNS or your own domain name nowadays. But maybe I'll put a video out in the future and show you all how to do that. But go ahead. Let's just use Nubicasa here. You're going to enter in the WSS, which stands for secure. We're going to go ahead, give it a name, and we're going to need our long-lived access token. This is what you go ahead and create on your Home Assistant instance. And we put this in here to give you a secure connection to Dashable. Now, you do have an option here at the bottom. You can choose to store things locally on your browser, which means that that long-lived token never leaves your browser, but it means every device you log in from, you have to go ahead and set up a connection like this. Or you can choose the other option and store it in Dashable's cloud. So back to our dashboard, and you can see you have your very first dashboard already created there. Creating more dashboards is grayed out, and of course, that's where you're going to have to upgrade to be able to do it. But let's go ahead and head into our main dashboard and go ahead and look. When we first start, we got nothing there. Hit Escape to bring up the editor. Down the left-hand side here, we have all of the widgets that they currently have. Some of them are pre-made. You can go ahead and experiment with all of these. There's all sorts of things from weather widgets to time widgets to gauges to thermostats. You name it, they've got something here that's pre-built. But the beauty of this is building your own widgets. And probably one of the most powerful things is the entity widget right here. And this is essentially the ability to just connect to any entity or attribute within Home Assistant and do all sorts of magical things to it. So for example, I have a Blue Jays tracker. I'm using this sport add-in from Hacks, and I have all of these attributes and details, and you can see the values next to them of what they're currently set to. I can go ahead and pick any of these to display on the screen. And there we go. We're playing the Yankees today. So from there, we have all sorts of options. We can hide the background. We can hide the border to make it transparent. We can copy it. We can do all the things that you would expect to do in a modern editor. And you can just make a quick copy now that you've set that up. And let's get the home team, which of course is the Blue Jays. They're doing fantastic this year. So let's go ahead. We can create another copy of the Yankees entity here and jump back over to the other side. And again, we'll just choose the drop down and we'll show the away team score for this one. And you can continue to do this where you build out your widgets with tons of different items. After that, we can go ahead and select the Blue Jays. And what we're going to do now is we'll jump into the transforms section and we'll go ahead and we'll choose all capitals. So no matter what comes from Home Assistant, it's going to make sure it's capitalized here when it displays it. Go ahead, we can change the font for that. And there's a whole list of fonts that you can use, sizes, things like that. And we'll do the same to the Yankees. And finally, let's take a look here and just apply that transform back to the team name for Yankees and make sure it's always capitals. So let's go ahead. We'll get the score for both teams here. And then we're going to jump over. We're going to add an image widget. And this works very similar, but what we can do here is jump in and we can assign it the actual image or the URL for the image that's stored within that entity in Home Assistant. And that's going to get us the New York logo, and then we can go ahead and get the Blue Jays logo later on as well. So this is a really nice way to pull images and things dynamically that are stored in Home Assistant. And of course, every time the game changes, it's going to update with the newest team's logo. So next, we're going to choose what they call a visual box, and it's really exactly what it is. It allows us to create a little box on the screen. We can go in, we can pick a background color as well as a whole bunch of other attributes that we'll look at just in a second, but let's go ahead and make that blue. Then we'll go ahead and rearrange the levels for the text to make sure that the Blue Jays and the score and all that are on top of our visual box. Let's move our logo into position now. And we'll go ahead, we're going to copy that logo and we can paste that one in there. And then we'll go ahead and change the attribute to be the home team logo and get the Blue Jays logo pulled up. And you can see how easy it is to just start building that widget out. And of course, we can go ahead and we can set the attributes for those images. We can make sure that the backgrounds are transparent and we're not showing any border for each one of them. And then we'll select our visual box again, and we can go in here. We can change lots of options in here. For example, you can change the size, you can round the corners, you could rotate it. There's lots of different things here that you can do to give us kind of a nice look. You can even create other backgrounds and overlay them and overlap them. So it's a pretty powerful tool. Now we can go ahead, we can add another image in. They also have the logo for Major League Baseball. So let's go ahead and add that here. Just give it a little bit more visual flair. And again, these would all be dynamic when they upload from Home Assistant. We'll go ahead and remove the border and the transparent background and place it right here on top. Nice thing is, once you've built that widget, you can go ahead and select them all, head into that widget's properties, and create it into a group. Give it a name, and you can use it in any dashboard you want. Copy, paste it, edit it, change it, pretty much do anything you want with it. And that's the basics. I mean, that's how you can go ahead and build out widgets. Now, here's an example of a little bit more advanced baseball tracker one that I created. But like I said, it's super simple. Just go ahead and explore now. You can drag pre-made widgets from the side, go ahead and change their fonts and all the different attributes. Group them together to make a clock date combo if you want. Change backgrounds. You've got animation, animated backgrounds, all sorts of different options that you can play with, even just solid colors for your background. And the nice thing is that when you set up a new dashboard, you can open it on the device you're going to view it and tell it to save the size of the dashboard. So that way, even if you're editing it remote on your local computer, you know exactly how big the dashboard is and where to drag your widgets to make sure it'll look perfect when it's in full screen. Now, there's tons of different widgets you can make on this. And here's just another really quick example. Obviously, I sped this up so you can see. But essentially, you can drag a ton of buttons on there. You create yourself, basically, this is for my backyard, but it's a room or a location-based widget. Add all your different buttons, your scenes and everything. And then it can work as one as a group. So super easy to go ahead and create custom widgets. Again, save it, use it in any dashboard. Here's another one I really like. It's called Split Flap Display. It's like those old train station displays. Now, essentially, you can set this up. You can decide how many letters per line and how many lines you want to have. And you can put a custom message on it, or even better, you can actually connect it to an entity, say a newsreader or something like that from Home Assistant, and it will constantly update with the news or the article or whatever value you want from Home Assistant, and it loads it in with this kind of cool flip-top display like you'd see in a train station. Okay, how about another example? This one here is a countdown widget. It's really nice. You can set it to whatever you want, whether it's an entity in Home Assistant that'll constantly update itself, or it's a fixed date. For this example, I'm going to do countdown to Christmas. Now, you have all sorts of settings on how you format it, what parts of the time you show, all sorts of different options there. I've gone ahead and put a visual box around this one and set the background to be a dynamic kind of color fading one to give a cool look, and going to round off the corners on this one. And you get yourself a little widget, and if you want, you could even add a little bit more to it. We can add an image in with a link to a Santa picture and just throw that on top. And again, save this one. You got a nice little countdown to Christmas widget. Okay, so here's something we haven't really looked at yet. Let's go ahead and drag an icon on here. And this is any of the Lucid icon sets, so pretty much anything you can dream up. Let's make it a little bit bigger, and let's change it to a fan. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to also put a button in here, or a toggle switch. And let's go ahead and we'll connect that to my Elgato key light just so I can see what's going on. All right. And now let's go back to that fan. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up the basic animation. Let's make that rotate slowly. Well, 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds it'll rotate. And then we're going to add conditional formatting, which is available for all of the widgets. We're going to go in, we're going to look at that Elgato key light again. And we're going to say if the Elgato key light is off in this case. And what we will do is let's pick rotate. And rotate is the option, and we'll go ahead and make it fast. So let's make it 1 second. Every 1 second it rotates. And now when we turn off the toggle for the key light, we'll see that that fan speeds right up and again slows down again when we turn it back on. Now we can do all sorts of things for that. So we could also go ahead if we wanted to and switch that fan to anything from an emoji set. So let's switch that to emoji, give ourselves a happy face there. And let's stretch the bounding box to be a little bit bigger to fit the size of the icon we have, and go in. There you go. You got a spinning happy face that works the same way as that fan did. And one more thing that we can do, we can copy and paste that. And one of the really cool things with Dashable is that you can layer your objects. So let's go ahead and put that fan back, and we're going to make it a little bit bigger. We'll put it right on top of our happy face there and make it bigger than the happy face. And let's jump over to our properties here and reorder them so that the fan is underneath the happy face. You can go ahead and move them around. There we go. And get it to where you like it. Go ahead and view it live again. And now you got that fan underneath, so you can turn them on and off, and you can see both rotate. And this can be done with images or pretty much any of the widgets. And the final thing is let's just go ahead and play with that. We're going to make the fan spin slower when it's on and faster when it's off. So we're reversing the order just so that you can see layered. So now we got a fast happy face, and when you turn it off, the fan goes fast, and vice versa. So it just starts to show you the unlimited capabilities with using the conditional formatting. Okay, so I know this video is getting long, but why don't we go ahead and try one more? For this one, I'm going to do a local media player. And essentially what I have here is just a USB capture device connected to my touchscreen. And I have an Apple TV connected to that. So I can input the video from the Apple TV and display it, of course, in a small little box like that. Or we can go ahead and drag it bigger. Or even imagine using those conditional controls on it to make it get larger or smaller based on, say, the value if the Apple TV is playing or if it's not playing. Now you can also go ahead and go drag a WebRTC camera. So I have Ubiquiti cameras set up here. And I can go ahead, let's put that one for the backyard. There it is. And we can go ahead and do a copy paste on that to get us a second one. And we'll make that one, I don't know, the front driveway. There we go. And you go live and you'll see the video for the Apple TV as well as the driveway and the backyard load. Now, again, you can resize those any size you want. You could even overlay them on top of each other if for some reason you wanted to do that. And again, conditional formatting is available, so you can move them around or resize them, whatever you want to do based on the value of any entity in Home Assistant. Here's another example. Maybe we put a media player widget onto the canvas. And if I can remember what media player is actually my office here, my office. I'm pretty sure that's the right one. So we're going to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger here so we can see all of the controls, and you can actually overlay it right on top of the Apple TV if you, again, wanted to for some reason. And then you can see the video comes up, and I'm going to use the Apple remote here, and I'm going to go into Plex, and let's go over and hold on. I know I've got it here somewhere. We'll start Superman, the new Superman, play. And you'll see the media widget automatically updates with the status of the player itself. And if you wanted to, you could go ahead and control it from the widget, or you could do whatever you want. Now, I've set this up before so that when the Apple TV starts playing, the actual video window for the Apple TV takes up like 3/4 of the screen. And when it's not playing anything, it just minimizes to a small window so I can see it in the corner. Okay, here we go. Last one, I promise. This one here is called multi-select toggle. And that's exactly what it is. You connect that to a toggle type in Home Assistant. So this is basically a predefined dropdown. And for this one, I'm going to connect it to my viewport for my Unify. And you can see that it really nicely resizes, and it gives you this sliding effect. So it's like a pre-built menu for, any type of item where you have multi-select within Home Assistant. And the beauty of this is you can go ahead and we can actually change the layout. Where is it? Layout, and we can make it a horizontal or a vertical. And again, just by resizing it, it automatically flies there, and the little selector goes to the one that's currently selected in Home Assistant. And if you were to, by the way, change this in Home Assistant, it would automatically update. We can go ahead and do some crazy things with the corners of the background if we want. And of course, you can always change the font and a lot of the formatting options. So let's change the font and get rid of that. And we will go ahead and make the font a little bit bigger. And now that we're bigger, let's go ahead and resize that dynamically just a little bit to make it look better. And go ahead and give it a try. And you can see, of course, that up and down, and it basically acts just like you'd expect it to go. Now, there's tons of options in here. You can change colors for the shading and for the CSS styling, like the lift of it. These aren't showing up very much here. But let's go ahead and we can change the, the text color. So the actual color of the background, let's give it a different color. And the highlighted area, pretty much everything is customizable. You could even turn it off if you wanted. But let's go ahead and do that. What else can we play with here? We could change the text color for the non-selected item. And then we could even go ahead and change the text color of the selected item. So give it whatever we want. And like I said, the nice thing is that this is updating the select value within Home Assistant. So vertical or horizontal, it works both ways. And you can see even the little select value moves with the border cut off, so it all aligns nicely. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the select. And just to show you what that's doing, you can see here on my desktop, it's actually, I've got a little Lilliput monitor with my viewport connected to it. And obviously when I change those settings on the button, it automatically switches the views that I'm seeing in front of me. So really cool little way with a automatic menuing system, any type of select value. So that's it. I can go on for hours. I've been playing with this thing back and forth. It's super exciting. You can build out some really amazing widgets, save them as a group, and start reusing them in all sorts of different dashboards. Now, there's a ton of stuff I haven't shown you There's lots of transitions. There's lots of ways of hiding and unhiding widgets. There's even separate dashboards, so you can actually navigate between different dashboards. So say you build out an amazing security dashboard and you want to be able to use it. You can add buttons in your main dashboard, and when you click on it, it seamlessly throws you over to another dashboard for security. And then you can even add things like auto timers to take you automatically back to the main dashboard. You can have dashboards changed based on criteria in Home Assistant. So say you're tracking somehow what dashboard you want to be on. You could have an automation in Home Assistant that is updating that value. And when that value is updated, it'll automatically throw you to that dashboard on Dashable. All of this is also, I haven't even gotten into showing you how you can manage these dashboards. So all of your devices connect back to the main dashboard in Dashable. And from there, you can target dashboards. So you can basically just click a button and tell any one of your devices to display a new dashboard or a different dashboard. You can reload them from there. You can take them in or out of edit mode from there. Of course, you can edit them from there. And I mean, it's just the beginning. Let me know what you guys think. Take a look at it. It's not perfect. It has a few little bugs and things like that in there. It is, fairly new and they're working through it. Up in your avatar menu, there's a little support button. So if you're having any issues or you have any suggestions for widgets, or pretty much you just want to send any message to them, go ahead and put it through there. I've found them to be pretty quick in getting back to me. They've even implemented a few changes and a few widgets that I was suggesting. So things are happening pretty quick with it. And of course, if you're having any problems, let them know. Let me know if you'd want to see more of this. I mean, if you think this is cool. For me, it's fantastic. I've always wanted to be able to create dashboards like this in Home Assistant. Just drag and drop and copy, paste, move, save, all of that. And this has it. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. And let me know if you want to see more of these videos. I'd be happy to demo some more and show you some of the more advanced dashboards I've been working on. And that's it. Enough talking for me. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.